Hello my friends, my name is Max, today is Friday, and that means one thing, that we're about to open yet another issue of the Imperium Magazine. Judging by the color and these fancy bits of a miniature, we're about to get something for Necrons. So let's go ahead and see what's inside. Inside of the packaging we find the magazine itself, a really nice sprue of the Canoptek Spyder, which we're gonna take a closer look at in a moment, a plastic base, and these kind of pins, because this spider is supposed to be sitting in the air. So let's take a look at the magazine first. A lethal Canoptek Spyder. First things first, we get some lore on the Canoptek Spyders from our old friends Inquisitor Leonid Rostov. We learn that these are pretty much things that repair the Necrons and that can use a range of powerful weapons to repel the invaders. Scarab hives, we learn about all that, and we can customize our Canoptek Spyder by giving it a name. All sorts of enhancements that are available are silent propulsion system, sharpened fangs, ocular enhancements, and so on and so forth. So you can make this mini your own, so to speak. Record of battle, heart of the swarm. Canoptek Spyder contain hives of hundreds of Canoptek scarabs. Keep a record of scarab swarms reanimated by this model, and you can basically track things over here. On the next page, we learn about more Canoptek Constructs. Canoptek Constructs can be found on every Necron world and accompanying most Necron armies to battle. They are artificial slave machines, whose entire existence is devoted to serving and protecting their noble masters and their works. Canoptek Doomstalkers. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get one in the magazine too. This is a fairly tall mini. Canoptek Scarab Swarms. Canoptek Spyders. This is the one that we get. Canoptek Wraiths. Canoptek Reanimators, and Canoptek Plasmacytes. Looking very, very cool. All sorts of scary Necron roboty things over here. On the next page, we learn about the Disciples of the Machine Gods. More lore on the Adeptus Mechanicus, their religious doctrines, work of divinity, cohorts and legios, tech marines. Yeah, we get some sort of lore, how Tech Marines of the Adeptus Astartes are connected to Adeptus Mechanicus, and on the next page we learn how to build a Canoptek Spyder. Get some assembly instructions. This is a fairly complex mini. It has a lot of legs, apparently it has 6, has all sorts of fangs and whatnot. We get some optional assembly over here, that looks actually quite cool, and we get the torso, put it on a pin, sub-assemblies, and that is the end result. Looking very, very nice. Pretty sure we're gonna build this miniature at some point. It looks absolutely amazing. This is how you paint the Canoptek Scarab, Runelord Brass, Abaddon Black, Canoptek Alloy. Canoptek Spyder should be painted with Canoptek Alloy. Who would have thought? Lead Belcher, Corax Whites. This mini is fairly complex. Fixing errors, this is how you fix the errors. And this is how the end result is gonna look like. And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna place more paint on it later on because it has some black stuff, and usually black stuff is not supposed to be there. Next we get some datasheets on Canoptek Spyders and Canoptek Scarab Swarms. Canoptek Scarab Swarms are these small pesky Canoptek things that Canoptek Spyder seemingly can produce. And we get a tutorial on denying psychic powers. They teach us that Canoptek Spyder can explode after its death, damaging everything around. Scarab Hive. Storm the Battery. A playthrough of this issue is supposed to be storming the battery. Battery Omicron 455. Mission briefing. We have Necron Warriors, Scarab Swarms, and Canoptek Spyder on one side, and Aggressors and a Librarian and Phobos Armor on the other side. Very, very interesting if these pals can take down all the Necrons. The Necrons start, shooting phase, then the Space Marines go into battle, then there is melee, looking very, very cool. This is absolutely amazing. I really like that they place these images of what is going on the battlefield. with some explanations. Really fine script over here, a lot of stuff is going on. And that is the turn 2 of the Necrons. We can see that not a lot of minis are left on the battlefields, and yeah, very interesting who is gonna be winning. Maybe I should actually play this. The last page of the magazine is pretty much some information on the magazine itself, on subscription, what do you get, and on the cover, on the back cover, we get some information regarding the next issues. Issue 24 is gonna bring us 2 paints, actually 1 paint and 1 shade, and issue 25 is gonna bring us Necron Immortals. Fancier looking Necrons. So far we have seen some Necron warriors. And the Immortals look absolutely amazing. They are really cool. That was our magazine, and now let's take a look at the sprue. This is our sprue, full of esoteric weapons and legs of the spider. Surprisingly, it is not large. I have expected this sprue to be a bit larger, but apparently we just built a platform, the underbelly, so to speak, then the torso, and these are the legs. And then we have some construct on top of it. This is probably a weapon of some sort. And that is pretty much it, with small bits and pieces here and there. This is a very straightforward build, at least it looks so far. This mini is fairly old, the molds are from 2011, so it is even pre-Indomitus era. This mold is 14 years old, which is actually quite interesting, and with the Necrons, I personally find it really hard sometimes to figure out how old is the model. The humanoid-looking characters can be definitely looking very old, but this kind of scarabs or spiders or whatever, it is really hard to figure out if they're produced in year 2020 or year 2011. Because the Necrons look so alien, it is really hard to say. So this is a fairly straightforward sprue. It is supposed to be sitting on a pin like this in the air. I personally very much dislike this kind of setup, but there is not much that can be done about that. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna build this pal eventually on the channel, because it looks absolutely amazing, and I'm a huge fan of Necrons. And that is gonna be it for today, my friends. Let me know in the comments below if you have any Canoptek Spyders in your possession, if you like playing Necrons, and if you got this issue of the Imperium Magazine. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribe to the channel. It will help you to catch more content like this in the future, and it will help me to grow this channel. If you really enjoy what I'm doing here, please check out my Patreon. As always, check out the video that you see now on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.